So this is going to be the movie review. This one's called I Was a Teenage Frankenstein, 1975. Giving it 5 out of 5 stars. The ending is absolute hilarity. There's actually an alligator pit, just like in that Rory Calhoun Island movie I just saw. But it's even more funny. It's like it's live and meets Hammer horror. It's a great flick. It's got the professor guy from I Was a Teenage Werewolf playing Dr. Frankenstein. He's the great great grandson of the Baron von Frankenstein. And he does some lectures where he talks about using body parts from death row inmates to create a new body. And one of the listeners to his lectures speaks out and calls him a quack, and he doesn't appreciate that. Then he goes to some kind of dinner party and meets this lady, and they agree to become married right away. She's a little bit too nice to this guy, if you ask me. But then he's got his Igor assistant, older gentleman. He's both of them are complicit in their crimes, so he sort of reluctantly goes along with it under the threat of both of them being turned in for their crimes. And so there's a car accident right in front of the house. The two teenagers head-on collision. Frankenstein steals the body along with his Igor, and the hand is crushed, and so is the leg. So they chop it off. It's quite gruesome, actually, if you ask me, for 1957. And you actually see the severed hand and the severed leg. But when they first show the crushed hand, it does look like some of the fingers are missing, but then when he chops it off, the fingers are back. So a little bit of lack of continuity there. And, and then he's got this alligator pit where he just throws the body parts and the alligator eats it. And then the monster itself, the face looks pretty gruesome. So he wants to go outside. He doesn't realize that people won't accept him with his monster face. So he goes outside. He starts peeping on this blondie who's brushing her hair, and she screams and goes crazy when she sees his face, and then he ends up killing her. And Frankenstein's not happy about it. He tries to cover it up for him. And meantime, his fiancée helper lady, she gets a mold of the lock on the door, and she gets the key to the door, and she goes in there and she sees the monster. She starts freaking out, runs away. So she knows about the monster, and she tells her husband while they're trying to get an engagement ring. And then he plots with the monster to have her fed to the alligators. And then the monster kills a teenage boy to get his face. He's all excited. He wants to go out, but then Frankenstein wants to cut him up again so that he can transport him to England, where he won't be recognized with his new face. And spectacular ending. I loved it. Can't say enough good things about this movie. I'll post the movie in the description box, and I'll look for the trailer. Also, I found the trailer for the last movie I watched, Invasion of the Saucermen. I found that, and I put it in the description box. You just have to click on more details to get to it. So I'll do that again for this movie if I can find it. And this movie and the Blood of Dracula were two movies that AIP was asked to do after the initial success of I Was a Teenage Werewolf. So this was the first one, and I believe the second one that I'm about to watch, Blood of Count Dracula, or just Blood of Dracula, I think is what it's called. That one's going to be pretty much a remake of I Was a Teenage Werewolf, according to the reviews that I've read for Blood of Dracula. So I'll get to that one next. Interesting how how it changed from black and white to color at the end. I wasn't expecting that, but they shot it really quick. So it's got that kind of low budget feel to it with the alligator pit. And pretty cool flick. Highly recommended. Check it out later.